Hello, and welcome to this series of 505XT steam turbine controller tutorials. In this tutorial, we will overview the control parameters available, the ratio limiter logic, and alternate modes of operation that the 505XT supports, and how to transfer operation from one mode to another. Understanding the alternate modes of operation in the 505XT will allow the controller to be applied in the way that best suits your plan's needs and provides flexibility in the parameters being controlled. The 505XT has several different modes of operation for extraction or admission turbine configurations. Because the 505XT has control of two valves, it can control two parameters at any one time using ratio limiter logic. The parameters available for control are speed or load, extraction or admission steam pressure or flow, inlet steam pressure or flow, or exhaust pressure or flow. Each of the four processes is controlled by a PID. The four PID demand signals are sent to the 505XT ratio limiter. The ratio limiter determines which two PID demand signals to use in order to drive the HP and LP actuators. Based on the steam map, the HP and LP positions are moved such that the influence of one process has minimal effect on the other process being controlled. In addition, the ratio limiter logic keeps the operating point of the turbine within the steam map for all modes. Prior to configuring the 505XT, it is important to understand which parameters are planned to be controlled. The typical configuration is to control speed and extraction through the ratio limiter logic. This is called the base mode. The base mode is always available and is automatically active when extraction or admission control is enabled. If an alternate mode is used, it is always enabled from the base mode. When an alternate mode is disabled, the control returns to the base mode. The first alternate mode controls speed or load and inlet steam pressure or flow. The second alternate mode controls extraction pressure or flow and inlet steam pressure or flow. The third alternate mode controls speed or load and exhaust pressure or flow. The fourth alternate mode controls extraction pressure or flow and exhaust pressure or flow. The fifth alternate mode controls inlet pressure or flow and exhaust pressure or flow. Now that you have a basic understanding of the alternate modes available, we will review how alternate modes are configured in the 505XT. An alternate mode must have the associated controller and process signal configured. For any modes that include inlet control, the inlet controller must be configured. This menu can be accessed from the configuration menu. For any modes that include exhaust control, the exhaust controller must be configured. This menu can be accessed from the configuration menu. For each controller, the associated input signal, inlet input and/or exhaust input, must also be configured. Last, the Use Alternate Modes checkbox in the steam map configuration menu must be selected. You are now ready to use alternate modes. Once the turbine is in operation and extraction or admission has been enabled, alternate modes can be accessed from the steam map page. Once the steam map page is open, press the mode button in the softkey menu to launch the alternate mode pop-up menu. The menu shows which mode is currently enabled at the top. The alternate mode select drop-down menu allows you to select which alternate mode you would like to enable. The LEDs in the list of available modes indicate which alternate modes have been configured and are ready to use. For compressor applications, only alternate modes that include speed control are available. Once the desired alternate mode has been selected from the drop-down, the Transfer Inhibited LED indicates whether or not the control is ready to transfer into the alternate mode. If the LED indicates that the mode transfer is inhibited, some possible reasons include a failed sensor, the operating point is on a map limit, or the alternate mode is not configured correctly. Now that the desired alternate mode has been selected, it can be enabled by pressing the Enable soft key. Once the alternate mode is enabled, the control will transfer bumplessly into the new mode. The control mode on the mode selection pop-up will change to the new mode, and the control status in the upper right-hand corner of the screen will also display the new parameters being controlled. Alternate modes can also be enabled from a discrete input or Modbus. The control functions are now available throughout the runtime pages to manipulate the in-control parameters. Once an alternate mode is enabled, it will automatically be disabled if any of the following occur: loss of the process input signal, ratio limiter control is disabled, a normal stop is initiated, or a trip. To disable the alternate mode, open the mode selection pop-up from the Steam map page. Pressing the Disable button will bumplessly transfer back to base mode, speed, and extraction control. Alternate modes can also be disabled by a discrete input or Modbus command. You now understand the alternate modes of operation that the 505XT supports, how to configure them, and how to enable and disable them when the turbine is in operation. Please be sure to view the other tutorials for more information.